I don't believe in the institution of circus. I feel that it's inherently abusive to the animals in the circus, and I don't like the message that it gives to children that are brought, and the message that it's okay to exploit others, use others, dominate others.
We're leafleting the circus. Basically what we're doing is we're offering flyers to the public, the patrons coming into the circus, with information specifically about Ringling Brothers Circus and generally about circuses in general.
I think the public receives the information about how the animals are treated really well because they're interested in seeing the animals. The vast majority of people who come to the circus are coming to see the animals. Even Ringling says 80% of patrons say they're coming to see the elephants. So our information is specifically about the animals.
The tigers are kept in cages about the size of a parking space, so they can take a few steps back and forth. You have zebras back there and what they call Z-donks, a hybrid zebra, a donkey, horses, a camel, alpacas, goats, a cow, and they keep all these animals in cages just big enough to turn around in.
The way any circus controls these animals is through intimidation and abuse, and sometimes even when they're not ready to hit the animal, they just take the bullhook and taunt the animals with it. They pretend like they're going to hit the animal to intimidate them and just, put the fear in the animals of the handler, because that's why these animals are doing the tricks, because they are afraid. They are afraid of receiving a punishment.
They have what they call a bullhook, and it's about a 2 to 3 foot stick with a hook and a sharp point on the end, and it's similar to a fireplace poker, and they call it a bullhook or an ankus, and they use this to hook the elephant or jab the elephant or hit the elephant.
In Atlanta earlier this year in February, and these are some camels that were getting ready to go into the show, and their expert animal handlers just couldn't control them, and literally there were multiple people hitting this one camel, and it took them about 5-10 minutes, and then they finally decided we can't use this camel in the show.
I filmed them a couple years ago hitting the elephants down in the pit over here at the Cow Palace. The trainer of the baby elephants, I filmed them hitting the elephants, and we've caught them hooking many times, hooking the elephants, and they try not to do that when we're around, but we catch them sometimes.
The public as a whole is seeing more about how these animals are treated, how they coerce them and abuse them and force them into submission in order to perform, and I think the public just doesn't support that.
And what happens when the animals are kept in such severe confinement? They go crazy. And the signs of this insanity is the stereotypic behavior, which most people I think have seen. They just don't know what it is. You'll see an elephant swaying back and forth, bobbing its head up and down or rocking. You'll see tigers pacing back and forth. You'll see horses chewing on the bars. There's
nothing natural about these animals' lives, from living in parking lots to being chained most of the time to being forced to defecate when these handlers want them to be, going to the bathroom. There's just nothing natural.
When I see nature shows and I see these animals out living their own lives, they have lives. They have a way of life. They have a social structure. They have a family life. And for an elephant, it's really tight. And here they separate them from their family members. They keep the babies separate from the mothers. In the wild, the elephants a female elephant will never leave her family her whole life. A male elephant will leave at about age 13. Ringling takes them away from their family, from their mother, about 18 months. We've been doing it for 14 years, and Ringling has altered their enclosures since we've been doing this. But even though they're in corrals sometimes, they're chained for most of their life still.